Well, it's a bit annoying now and then, but that's okay. It's got to get somewhere in the end.
It's your film, after all, that we want to shoot for you.
Well, I've committed to it, so let's do it right. And you're the expert, and I should have called it off 10 days ago. From the outside, it always looks cool, but it didn't run smoothly all the time. I always repress that shit. If I'd lived life more consciously, that would have been good for me. For the company, it was exactly right.
My husband has a particular weakness for the business.
Weakness or passion?
Passion.
There never was a kindergarten here. So I ended up in my father's shop very early.
And this music shop became the world. Johann's world.
They used to take their time then.
Why don't you try out the flugelhorn?
And they left happy. What could be better? I know we're something very special here in Treppendorf, and that's why it's important to me that one day when I'm no longer around, that it goes on like this, that my employees have fun, yes, that they too find fulfillment, because it's the people that matter to me.
And that's where Hans Thomann is fundamentally different from what Amazon and those guys do. You don't do this all by yourself, so all the parts must fit. And that makes it a really big family. You just have to walk through the warehouse and you see them all slogging away, don't you? That's Hans. It's all down to Hans. At the moment, he's the biggest musical instrument retailer in the world.
So it was the products that were my passion. And they still are today. I so miss selling them here.
The sounds are generated by the overlay of different harmonious overtones.
There is no colleague who matched his knowledge of products. Guitars, amps, whatever. He knew everything.
And what about that one there?
That's our first digital organ. It is operated by a microprocessor and the sounds are polyphonic.
I mean, I was 18 and he was 12. And sure, what do you know when at 18 you're inexperienced, but still, I always felt he was someone special. Especially when you take the long time that he took wise decisions at 11 or 12. That's one of a kind. And the father did, in fact, not only ask the son for advice, but when the son said yes, yes, it's all right, like that, then it was a done deal. I really noticed that. If Jeff Bezos is a wonder child, then Hans is no less of one. For many years, people would laugh about his running a music store in Treppendorf. He wasn't taken seriously for many years in the 80s. But he had his vision. Thomann in Treppendorf, a small shop of middling renown, out of nowhere. If I have the same products, if I have the same prices, if everything's the same, why should customers from Munich come to Treppendorf? They can save themselves the trip. So he had to do something else. Selling online. We had absolutely no idea what that even was.
When things got going with the internet, they all said that he was crazy. I mean, the whole industry said that Hans is going off the deep end. Who would even buy a guitar or trumpets on the internet? Who do these people think they are? He's got a screw loose now. He's selling pianos over the internet. And he just stuck to his guns. So for him, it was doable. And now, Well, now it's unbelievable what's become of it. And I think it's gone beyond even his wildest dreams.
And for this, he does everything. He built a high bay warehouse when he didn't even know how to spell high bay warehouse. His goal is becoming #1 in the world. Well, he's achieved that, but expanding the lead a bit can't hurt.
I thought there'd be a day when there were no cranes any longer, but he loves having 6 building cranes standing there. He always has to have a project, and somehow it has to go on and on. Well, we didn't imagine this when we built our house here. There used to be fields, and we could see all the way up to the forest. You could watch the hares cross the road, yes. With the first warehouse, it made me feel sick in the pit of my stomach. So I said, "Do you think this will work?" "Yes, it'll be fine, and that'll be the end of it." Well, he can't do anything more around us. What does he want to do around us? We're surrounded by them. And then came the next logistics. And when it was around 40 million or 45, I said, "Hey, are you sure?" "Yes." And then I gave up on it. From that time on, I said, "Well, okay then."
It's like being an athlete. When you run the 100 meters in 9.6 seconds, I think that's the world record right now, then you want to do it in 9.5.
Full throttle, always full throttle, yes.
But are you doing this for yourself or for someone else? Are you doing it for the family? Who do you want to prove something to? Who?
Maybe it's because work was a way to get recognition from my father. Or maybe even the love I would have wanted. And maybe this was a powerful motivation.
The device has a unique reverb effect, which adds much more depth to the sound. Here, try it for yourself.
Thank you. I have to be off. See you. Actually, I do believe that he still isn't doing it for himself, but for his dad.
She's going to be back.
I think I've hung on to the sense of being trusted by my father. And, well, in the family, the feelings, more or less, weren't talked about. Were talked about little, or we didn't go into feelings, basically. Performing, finding solutions.
Working.
There's two sides to everything, right?
Yes.
Where there's light, there's also shade, day and night. Well, it was my vocation, really early. But also at the price of not playing with other children, and business came first.
So where's the free time for this child then? Oh, Hans. Where is it for this little boy? Where is this, "I want to play with my friends"?
But to me, when I was a child or a teenager, it was awesome to manage to close a deal. I thought it was cool. I got something out of that. In the 80s, so I was 18 at the time, and back then, when you were a professional musician, then you just got a 10% discount. And when a little old granny would come in, she wouldn't get a discount or just 5%. And I thought that was unfair, because it's just wrong that people cannot afford instruments.
Hans also isn't someone who shows off to others. Hans is a doer.
And I always wanted to run the business, to be free. But I'm not really free.
And he took on all this responsibility when he was pretty young. And he's been carrying it ever since. And I do think he carries a lot of responsibility, and that it's a job that's really hard too.
And somehow I ended up working more and more every year. There really was no day with less than 16, 18 hours. But the mental side, the pressure got much greater, yes. Then there was a time when I had a permanent headache. So my wife took me to the hospital that Sunday, and then it all came crashing down. I'm more one of those people who everything that was messed up, I deleted from my brain, maybe repressed it. If I'm in a bad mood, take the drum set. After 10 minutes, everything's all right again. My favorite instrument is the guitar, sure. But I love all instruments. Cellos are awesome too. Then there's something about a double bass. And the oboe, that's wild too. Difficult to play. Bass, also awesome. Drums.
Well, I started playing the drums when I was 9, as a valve and opening for my feelings. It's something liberating too, because you realise the kind of energy. A lot of my private life is about music too. There's no switch off. You're a musician. And you stay one.
Music unites and overcomes everything. And it doesn't matter a bit what the colour of your skin is, how old you are, if you're a man, a woman or a child. Music just unites.
And then the emotion that I send out from the stage, and that I also get back, I think that makes it really magical. What would life be without music? Well,
it comes in. It doesn't go through your head. It just goes through your feelings. Where do you get that these days?
So when I play for you, what you're hearing is me on the inside.
Your heart, your soul.
Awesome. But now I'm getting goosebumps.
And so that's been my mission, you know, that I play, you get happy. That's a good job.
They're all awesome guys. No matter if they play classic or rock or pop, they all have their own stories.
we collect musical instruments. I privately, he has a business, but he sells them. I've also sold some one time, but sold them sadly. I had a guitar from 1959 or 60, so a really early Stratocaster, and then somehow I thought, oh, I'll sell that. Shouldn't have done it. Hans is a tough negotiator. That was never easy.
We'll take all of them. Here's my offer.
When you're young, you just take in so much more. You learn 2 or 3 languages. You learn to play the violin, almost in your sleep. Maybe that's what it was like with me in business. I just soaked up a lot.
Music House Thomann, how may I help you?
Hans, he's looking for a synthesizer. Will you take care of it?
Sure. Just a moment.
The offer is generous, but I'm afraid it won't get us the volume we're looking for.
You have our offer. Think about it. We have 2 of those left here. Okay, right.
But I have to say, I don't know many who are this fair at the end of the day. You don't have to make a contract with him, not even shake hands. The word he gives is enough.
Agreed.
Great.
I never walked away and said, I don't like that man. I always walked away, I love that guy, and I love what he's doing in business, and I'm proud to be a partner.
We share the same hobbies, the same passion.
Absolutely.
I mixed on a Soundcraft S1S.
Do you remember M&M mixes?
Yeah. Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
If you want more business, you need more customers. But I never thought it would reach these dimensions.
And that's how he managed to do this, that from tiny Treppendorf he turns over millions all over the world. That people from Australia, America, Indonesia, all like shopping in Treppendorf. On the shop floors of more than 2,000 square meters, the music shop's 10 departments show everything a musician's heart could desire.
Yeah, sure. It was an exciting and long journey. From the hot deal, or the first packages that my wife packed up to here. What kind of shit is this? Fuck bollocks. This pisses me off. This won't do, no. Hey, you have to make sure that you cover this. Or keep inside the buildings. That's some bullshit. You don't have a tarp or it won't work.
I don't have any tarps.
It's pissing down with rain here. And the forklift guys say they don't have any tarps. But it's raining now. I mean, if you're going to look it into next week, it's not your fault, I know, but... The tarp's the problem. Makes me want to throw up. That's the wrong place to be saving money. Listen, this won't do. I don't want to see goods coming up here soaking wet. Got it? Of course, people make mistakes, and that's okay.
When he gets home, the first thing he does is open his laptop, sit down at the table, and go on working.
Too many emails, man.
And you have to reply to all of them straight away. The moon's still up there. Look. The business is his whole life. I think that's what it is. His whole life revolves around this company.
Why don't we finish this up tomorrow? Your sister has asked me a few times already today when we'll finally get to her birthday party. Hans?
This needs to get done today.
This needs to get done today?
This looks cool. This'll work. Thank you for helping me.
He is what he is. Well, I'd always say he's plain crazy. But it's his life.
I'm just the way I am. Actually, we will be parents to a 32-year-old now. Gabrielle lost it in her 5th month. Also a pile of crap. The business came first. I wasn't with my wife. Wouldn't do it like that today. But those are life's challenges, and somehow do it. It has made me stronger too. Since I turned 45, I've been thinking about what will be once I'm gone, and after some years, I went to a workshop on dying, and There's the private side. What would I want to do if I were to die tomorrow or the day after? It was a really tough process for me, and what does it look like for the company? How will that go on?
There's only one Hans Thomann, and once Hans Thomann is no longer, what will happen then?
I can set the company on the right course so that it won't be taken over by investors in the next generation or the one after that. So that at the end, it's not all about money.
Well, working alongside Hans for all these years, that's left its marks. I'm convinced that you can only show and pass on the Thomann DNA by exemplifying it in your own life. So it's not enough to put something on paper. We also have to live this DNA, live what makes us Thomann.
It's fundamentally true that many colleagues have found fulfillment here. But most of all, you've been able to fuse their hobby and their work.
A lot of fun. You know each other, you grow closer, and then you just follow your passion together. It's something truly magical. It's something really special. No matter where the guys and girls come from, we find common ground. That's really awesome.
Music is something beautiful because it makes you feel a connection with other people.
Music is our passion. For him, you'd have to say, music is my passion. And this music is my passion, in the final analysis, sets an example for the many employees who are part of Thomann today. Hans is a family man, I'm totally sure of that. And of course the business is a family, a much bigger one, but still. And this is an advantage they cannot buy. It's one they worked for.
So this shop is already pretty cool, it's awesome. But the new shop, that'll not only be the biggest, it'll also be the best looking shop anywhere in the world. Theoretically, of course, what I'm doing makes zero sense.
Why are you doing it?
Because I can, that's why I'm doing it. And because it's awesome. I still am. I always say I'm an MI retailer. In development.
Company under construction, yes. That's always a small company under construction. Crazy.
When something comes from the heart, then it's easy. Then you walk through life easily. And you love to give. And you get it back twice, 5 times as much.